And here's another hazard, another tractor. Oh, and now I've got another tractor behind me, who was actually going quite fast. I'm not making this stuff up. This is not stage managed.
Welcome to this driving masterclass video with Steve Sutcliffe. This time, Steve explains how to drive your favourite B road. Steve, take it away.
So let's just say you've found your perfect B road and you have the perfect car in which to drive it. In this case, a Honda Civic Type R. What happens next? Do you park up in a lay-by, close your eyes and ascend into a zen-like state of heightened awareness to put mind and body in the perfect place? Not exactly, no. But before you tear across the landscape in a frenzied attempt to reach driving nirvana, it's well worth taking a moment just to get the basics right and your head straight. Maybe stick your phone on airplane, make sure the mirrors are just right, select whatever drive mode you fancy. Get comfortable, in other words, before you get going.
It's so important to feel comfortable in a car. If you're going to enjoy it, if you're going to get the most out of yourself in terms of your driving, the car, in terms of its ability, and the road, and therefore your enjoyment of the road. So this particular B road is not, unfortunately, a classic Welsh mountain B road, but it's probably a B road that most of us will come across a lot more often, in that it's quite tree-lined, it's quite intense. I don't feel very comfortable going particularly fast along this B road. So what do? What are the things that you need to look out for? Well, if I just talk you down this piece of road now, you'll get an idea of what's kind of going through my mind. The lines are broken, so I'm not being too obsessed about being in my lane all the time. Everything about vision is essential when you're going along a B road like this. And if the line is broken, as it is now, feel free to go across the line to improve your vision down the road, as far down the road as you can possibly see. The road surface itself is really smooth, and the steering in this Type R just feels fabulous on this surface. It almost feels like a racetrack, but that's not going to last forever. So you do need to constantly be looking at the road surface ahead. So I've got hedgerows down both sides. This is into a blind corner, which, you know, I'm not going to commit through a corner like this. I'm still going to sit here and enjoy the car through that corner, but I'm not going to lean on it at all. So I'm not on the brakes, but I'm not on the throttle either. I'm just, just kind of ready for it, for anything. So I've got a sign here giving some skids and a sharp corner. Nice corner, actually, that. Civic feels absolutely killer through there. I mean, it's bumpy, it's lively, the ride is stiff, for sure.
The latest Type R is pretty much the perfect B-road car. Not too big, not too quick, lovely steering, and yes, a manual gearbox, which increases the driver engagement factor by at least 2, even if this one does blip the revs for you on downshifts. It's hard to think of a better car to choose for a road like this, at any price, supercars and hypercars included.
So now the road opens up a bit, quite a lot actually. The trees have gone from both sides of the road. I've got a much clearer vision of what's going on the right hand side. And I'm just going down here. I'm in 4th gear. You could even be in 5th gear. Always be in a gear higher than you think when you're driving down a favourite B road. You don't want to be, screaming around in a lower gear like that. A, you're making more noise. B, you don't need to be in a much lower gear all the time. Use the engine's torque, not its power, on a B road. So I've got a cyclist here. In fact, I've got 2 cyclists here. I want to give them a nice wide berth. I don't want to cheese them off. We're coming into a village, so I'm just going to kind of wait behind them. And they've just given me a nice thanks. I could have gone straight past both these cyclists up here and made it into the village and stood on the brakes and come down to 30 miles an hour. And definitely the wave that they gave me, which was one of thanks, would not have been one of thanks if I'd overtaken them and then stood on the brakes in front of them.
You're watching this video because you want to become a better driver, and I'm going to help you do just that. Actually, Steve Sutcliffe is going to help you become a better driver. He's written the definitive guide to being a faster, safer, more skillful driver for the Intercooler, and I'm going to share that guide with you completely free. Simply click the link on screen now or below in the description, and I will email you the first part of Steve's guide straight away. The following parts will arrive in your email inbox in the coming weeks. So click the link, sign up in seconds, and you'll be well on your way to becoming a better driver with Steve Sutcliffe.
I've never driven down this road before, genuinely. I've had a little look at it on a map, which you always should do if you're heading off to have a good time driving down it. But no, genuinely, I haven't driven down this road. So I've got the sat-nav up, I always do this, and put it into about a quarter-mile view, quite intense view, just so that you can see basically the road layout ahead as it's coming towards you. I'm not saying you should use the nav as pace notes or anything as obvious as that, but it's another little tool that you can use to take surprises out of the equation. And that's really what you want to do, so that you can concentrate on what you're doing and enjoying the car, enjoying the road.
By far the best tools you can use on a B road are your own eyes, ears, brain and backside. Some people naturally have better balance and more spatial awareness than others, and these things tend to make them great drivers rather than keen ones. There's a difference. But no matter how naturally gifted or otherwise you might be, reading roads and looking as far down them as you can are learnable techniques that anyone can use, and you'd be amazed how well they work once learned, and how much safer you'll be as a driver generally. By looking down the road and absorbing what's coming towards you between the far horizon and whatever is 400 meters away, the stuff that appears right in front of you will always present you with fewer surprises. So try to take in and process all the information that's available to you, from the telegraph poles that line the road in the distance to the road signs right in front of your nose. Look at the road's surface too to gauge if it looks greasy or damp, and if it's cold, then keep an eye on the temperature gauge to see if it's dropping. If it is, it could already be icy where you are, rather than where you've just come from.
If you want to get the most out of car, self and road, just drive as smoothly as you possibly can. Really gentle inputs on the steering wheel. You know, you're not on a qualifying lap here if you're driving down a B road. And if you do feel yourself getting into that kind of state, a bit carried away, maybe just pull over and have a bit of a word with yourself. Instead, you just want to just focus on what's ahead. Join the dots. Search for the kind of entry, apex and exit points on each corner. A lot of them are there, and you don't have to be going very fast. The steering in this car, steering in any car, tells you so much. So does your backside. This is quite a lumpy road on this bit of road, but I can still feel what the suspension's doing, what the dampers are doing. Everything just needs to be kind of tweaked into a state that all the information you receive is just getting instantly processed, and therefore the surprises, if they appear, almost aren't surprises. And once you get yourself into that kind of state of mind, without getting completely carried away with it and driving too fast and trying too hard, then that's when you'll have these kind of lovely nirvana moments on great B roads. And when they come, when they arrive, when you become aware of it, it's powerful, it's lovely. It really is what this enthusiasm, this peculiar love of cars and driving, etc., is all about. And I'm just coming into a town here, and the speed limit says 30, but I'm coming right down. I'm coming down to 25 miles an hour, I think, because what are you going to gain by the time you get to the other side of this village? 6 seconds, 8 seconds or something? Okay, you're never going to get that 6 to 8 seconds back in your life, but is it really that important? And by not going sort of 35 miles an hour through this town and doing 25 miles an hour through it instead, everyone that lives in it is going to massively appreciate the fact that you haven't howled through the village. They're not going to get cheesed off with you. In fact, the guy over there mowing his lawn didn't even look up. But if I'd gone through here at 40 odd miles an hour, I suspect he would have looked up, and I suspect he would have been quite cheesed off, and rightfully so. And I don't think you should ever really switch off at all, even though you're coming through a village. The temptation is to go, right, I've just been on the de-restricted bit, now I'm bumping through a village. You switch off, turn the radio on or whatever, and don't pick up your telephone, because actually you're probably more likely to have an accident in a village or in a town than you are out on the de-restricted bit of road. On the de-restricted bit of road, you're obviously focused, you're obviously completely dialed into the surroundings. But so here we go, absolute classic example. If I'd been going, the speed limit on this road right here is 40 miles an hour. I think if I'd been doing 40, me and that lorry might have had a bit of interface. And here's another hazard, another tractor with a lorry trying to squeeze between tractor and side of road. Yeah, not sure what we'll do here. Oh, and now I've got another tractor behind me who was actually going quite fast. I'm not making this stuff up. This is not stage managed. That takes up 65% of the road. All of the road, as in my lane and its lane. You just do not want to come across that if you're going too fast down a B road like this. But you don't want to get over neurotic. You don't want to get paranoid about what's coming down the road at you, or you know, convinced that you're going to have an accident. You're not. If you are relaxed, but drinking absolutely as much information as you can in about everything that's going on in your windscreen, a little bit of what's going on behind you, and just processing that information in a calm, logical way, you will naturally slow down for this environment, and you will naturally avoid having the accident a lot more in the first place. So here's an interesting one. There's a big old tractor in front of me up here. Question is, do I overtake him or not? I'm now beginning to think that the answer is no. But if I do want to overtake it, then the lines in the middle of the road are broken. There is no problem at all with coming right out onto the other side of the road, like that, to have a really good look around this tractor, because I can see clearly down the road. But unfortunately what I can also see is that the tractor itself is just a bit too wide. So I can't really get past it, I don't think. I can probably get past it now, so I'm pulling out, giving him loads of room. That's all good. And through we go. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. He pulled over, so that's another thing. Just be courteous to other people. And then you get these moments where the road does clear. And the pleasure you get out of driving a car like this, over a road like this, well and safely, it's up here. It's up there. I recommend it.